I'm Zach,
And I'm Lindsay.
and this is the Game Forums Extended Forum, episode 13. Today we're going to be talking about some Castlevania news, Mandalorian, Gamestop, and some updates to the coronavirus. But first, what have you been playing?
So we haven't done an extended forum in a couple of weeks. We've been pretty
Yeah, it's been
busy
a
with some
while.
other stuff going along. But I've actually been playing a good bit of stuff here lately.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to start off. For Honor had a new event going on with Prince of Persia. And I know this is pissing off a lot of people because they want a new Prince of Persia game.
Yeah.
But as a fan of For Honor, I really enjoyed this mode. They took one of the older For Honor maps and reskinned it to be like a Middle East kind of map.
Oh, that's
And the
cool.
way it works, it's like a pretty much like a domination style map where there's three bases. One base in the middle is surrounded by NPCs like normal, except you also have like an incredibly strong NPC in the form of the Prince of Persia, and
Hmm.
he's pretty well running around the map, and he has a ton of armor and deals a ton of damage. But whichever player or whichever team manages to kill him gets like an additional like 100 points added on to their domination score.
Oh,
So it really starts changing up the way the game works. I had a lot of fun with it. It was very different and kind of refreshing to have something like that thrown in there. So I played it a good bit.
yeah. The Ghost Recon Breakpoint just added Sam Fisher uh, to their like storyline. They've done it with Wildlands.
Hmm.
So, because a lot of people are like, make another Sam or a Splinter Cell game. You know, like Ubisoft, everybody wants Prince of Persia and Splinter Cell from Ubisoft, and they're not doing it, but they are adding them into other games. So it's kind of like, are they actually trying to do this, or what are they doing? But
I don't know.
like,
I kind of like these crossover collabs between video games and stuff.
yeah,
It reminds me a lot of like the Soul Calibur games, and they had like special guest characters from other video games come in.
yeah,
I like stuff like that. I think it's cool, and I mean it kind of reminds me of like the Avengers movies and stuff, where they have all
yeah,
these different heroes team up for something. So I'm always down for more of this kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that is cool. It's cool that Prince of Persia is back and in a cool way. So hopefully, this is like a good sign that Ubisoft is at least listening.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
you want to continue with what you're playing? You got
Yeah. So
okay.
what was it? Also, been playing a little bit more Cross Out, trying to finish out their season pass.
So is it
They
still
actually
on the same season, or have they changed?
they're still on the same season. This was the first time they've done a battle pass, and it went on for like 2 months, I think.
Yeah.
And it still has like a month left. And
Oh.
I'll definitely make it and max it out before the end of the month. But I haven't had as much chance to play as I'd like. Otherwise, I'd probably already have maxed it out.
Yeah.
But they added in a some kind of funny stuff with the coronavirus going on. There's different patches and stickers that are like showing like don't like have social distancing, stay at home, wash your hands, and all this kind of stuff. So right now there's like an overabundance of like tanks with all these huge cannons and stuff, and there's a big logo on the front that says like wash your hands. I mean it's kind of funny, but I mean it's a good way to promote all the stuff and let people know about everything while at the same time, putting in some neat stuff because they also added in some other armor parts and stuff with it. So it gets people something to work for while kind of promoting the, best way to help deal with the virus, which is always cool.
That's cool.
They also just started their April Fool's Day thing. It's something they do every year,
Yeah.
and normally they pick some of like everyone's like favorite crazy vehicles and have them all fight to the death. This year, it's still pretty crazy. It's like a drone based arena where there's two Leviathans running around with a ton of armor and no weapons. And you spawn in not as a regular vehicle, but like a tiny drone, like essentially a little bit bigger RC car. And
Yeah.
normally they have just like really pathetic weapons on them, but they've put like all the max level weapons in the game on these. And so some of these weapons, like the recoil, is so great you'll like be doing backflips and stuff or get pushed way back because it's like a tiny little RC car with like a tank cannon mounted on top of it, and you're trying to damage and kill the enemy Leviathan before the enemy team kills yours. This is very different. It's definitely not like anything they've really done before,
Yeah.
but it's really fun and silly because they always do something like that for um, April Fools.
That's pretty
And
cool.
let's see, I've also got back in, played a good bit of Warzone with some friends. I definitely feel like it's a much better experience when playing with friends.
Yeah.
Um, when we did the first review and I'd played a little bit more, I pretty much just get stuck with random people who run off and get killed, and I'm pretty well by myself anyway. So I've been playing more of the solos, but playing with actually confident people who you can talk to on a mic makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So,
Uh, I was playing a match of Warzone. Like, I was like, I just want to play one match, and we ended up getting down to like the top 15, and I was in a group of three, and one of them went down, and he was in the gulag, and so I believe he made it, and he was like on his way back, and the other guy like got in front of me, and was like talking, but I couldn't really hear him, and I'm like, this dude's trying to tell me something important, so I scrambled and got my headset, turned it on. I was like, hey, what? I couldn't hear you. What? And he was like, you got a bunch of money, go buy a self revive and a UAV and all this stuff. I was like, oh, okay. And I bought all this stuff. This dude carried us until we got to second place and we almost won. It was
oh
awesome.
my god,
Well, this guy's,
we got to a third in
yeah,
one match, and it was so much fun. Like that last little bit, it
yeah,
was coming down to one of the cities, and we had gotten up on top of a roof, and there's all these big skyscrapers and stuff around us.
yeah,
And there were still like a lot of teams left at this point, but the circle was getting really small.
yeah,
And we were taking fire from like this group of people across from us, and my other two teammates had sniper rifles, and so they're like trying to shoot them, and one of them got down. I pick him up, and I turn around, and there's like two guys coming up this ladder, like starting to attack us, and I'm starting to shoot them. So we're all like firefighting in every direction, trying to push these people back off this roof we're on. And we downed like two or three teams defending that area. But
yeah,
then there's like this other team way up on top of this like big tall skyscraper, and one of my friends took out one of them, and we thought they were all dead, and the gas started encroaching on that area, but there's still one guy left, and he was like a good sniper, and he had us in like a really bad position, and
yeah.
in the midst of all this, he just starts taking out both of them, and then I got nowhere I can go, and I go down.
Oh,
Um,
no.
and then we just get swamped with everybody, and it's like we came in second on that one, but it was or third on that one. Sorry, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm glad you're giving Warzone some more chances. 'Cause I know, well, I guess you weren't really like negative about it, but it seems like you preferred, Blackout more, which I'm sure you still do. But
And I still like the ability to pick up your any gun you find and customize it as you go along. Like with this, I mean, we have been pretty much calling in our own loadouts like every round, and I feel like that kind of like detracts from the free
yeah,
flowing part of it, because it's like pretty much every time pretty early on we might run into a couple people, but I always know I'm going to be able to get like the weapons I want exactly how I want them and get that leg up. Like part of the excitement to me of going into a battle royale is like, oh my god, what am I going to find? I have a shotgun and a revolver. Oh god, this is going to be a crazy round.
yeah,
And I feel like the loadout system kind of takes part of that away, because now it's like, well, I got a shotgun and a revolver. I'm just gonna call in and get like my heavy machine gun and sniper rifle, so I'm good.
Yeah,
It takes kind of some of that excitement away from it.
yeah. I did hear a lot of people saying how like really Warzone is just get up. Like if you're in a team of three, get up to $2,000 each, and you can all pool it together and call a loadout. So I think they're gonna rebalance it to where like the loadout's gonna be 3,000, but it's only for you. So like if I call in the
Yeah.
loadout, it's only for me, and I think that would actually like rebalance it. Maybe not appropriately, but it'd make it a little more fair.
Yeah, it'd make it a little bit more fair. I mean, I would be fine with them having a mode where there is no loadouts or just making it even more expensive. Because, I mean, right now it's really cheap. I want to say it's 8,500 credits for the loadout. But, like, with us just going around and, like, scavenging, even really before the first circle shrinks in, like, not even just between us, but pretty much like at least one of us has enough money to
Yeah,
just go ahead and buy it for all of us, and then the rest of us get like um, UAVs and cluster strikes and whatever other stuff to help out.
yeah,
And it's like, oh man, we just went around and found like all this money everywhere. Um, I mean, it doesn't really feel like something you really have to earn and get to. I mean, pretty much every time, unless there's like a huge group of people that happens to be around us. And we have had that happen a couple of times, which is fun. But I mean, most of the time, we always have the weapons we want, and I feel like that just kind of takes away from it a bit.
yeah. It does. I can understand that. I prefer it, but I mean, I still get it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I've been playing. What have you been playing, Zach?
So we last week we did our Doom first impressions. We were both pretty much like on the same page. We had just played 2 hours. I believe you haven't played anymore. You haven't been able to, and then I played about 4 hours more. So I'm on mission six. I'm about halfway through the entirety of the game. I went ahead and looked to see like how many levels there were, just to get an idea of how much longer I had. And the game actually like changes a good bit. Um, in terms of like how like there'd be the wave based sections where the okay you just get through
Yeah.
the enemies, and then there's the puzzle sections. Well, they start merging the two to where it's
Oh
it's
boy.
like really intense, but it becomes this awesome like heavy metal dance, and you're just going through and you're doing these puzzles, and like some of the puzzles have environmental effects that'll like change, like spikes will rise up, or these like pendulums will swing, and they'll be bladed, so they'll start like attacking enemies. And so this happens in like these huge areas, and so it changed a lot. It's the weapons are a lot cooler, and so it's just like they really did a it really did a good job continuing to change. From the first 2 hours to like I'm probably 6 to 7 hours into the game, and it's like, oh man, they've actually done a whole lot to that.
That's really cool. That has me really excited. Like I said, I haven't played that game because I'm not interested. I've just been playing other stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed like that combat system in there, and it really surprised me. And the fact that it changes and evolves even more as the game goes on, I think is a testament to like how good a developer they are. I mean
Oh yeah.
that really takes a lot to really push it that much further.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm glad that the game got delayed. I feel like it came out at the perfect time, and like
Yeah.
Animal Crossing and their like fan fiction mixed with the Doom stuff, and I'm like, it's really tacky, but it's really cool. And so like, Doom is the perfect game to just put on. Like, I'm just gonna play level. I'm just gonna kill some demons, listen to some awesome music, and it. I thought it would be repetitive by now, but it's only gotten better. Now,
Awesome.
mission 10, I could be like, okay, this is annoying. And apparently there's an enemy that gets introduced at the end of the level I'm at that makes like recurring appearances, and it's really frustrating. And so, maybe my opinion will change by next week if I
Yeah.
continue playing it. I don't know for sure. So I will be continue playing it though. Uh, the other major game that I've been playing, which I will be doing a review on, I should have a review hopefully posted by Friday, and that's Terminator Resistance. So this game was supposed to come out in December, but it got delayed to January. It had already come out on PC, I think early last year, and it got really bad reviews. Like I think it got a 4 on IGN. It was just,
Ugh.
yeah, it was really bad. I think they said it was like someone said this is the best Terminator game I've ever played, but the worst game I've ever played of 2019.
Oh
And so,
no.
yeah, it got pretty trashed. But I'm really enjoying it, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to or not, because it is like the graphics are okay. They're not bad, but they're okay. The textures like kind of blend together. A lot of the environments look the same. The story is god awful. The voice acting is like subpar at best, but it's like so like fun to be in this world, and like the weapons, the music is awesome. The main menu music is like the coolest thing ever. It is like the Terminator 2 theme song.
Hmm.
Um like the what are the Terminators called? T800s,
Yeah.
T1800? Okay. So you get introduced to those in like a very like horror inspired way, to where you have to like sneak through this factory, and there's a bunch of them walking around, and there's this very tense music that's playing, and you have to sneak by them, and you don't have a way to kill them. Like they're invincible by now. And so you have to like sneak by, and it's scary because it's like these robots are walking by, and then
Hmm.
eventually you get access to the Skynet weapons, and you can use those to fight them. To now they're just like cannon fodder. Like I'm just like they're I'm shooting ships down with a machine gun. Like it's
Yeah.
gotten like so crazy on that level. But I mean, this is kind of a spoiler for the game, but I don't think anybody really cares about this game. The story is interesting at one point because they're saying that like, oh yeah, the Terminator went back in time with a list to kill, I believe, what, John Connor, and then wasn't the other guy Reese from the first
Kyle
movie?
Reese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kyle Reese, and then the third was Jacob Rivers, and that's who you're playing as. And so you're playing as like the third person on the list, so they kind of like squeeze themselves into the canon like without
Yeah.
anyone noticing, which I thought was kind of funny. But the story is really cool because it's like, and it's so obvious. Oh man, I guess I won't go into like crazy spoilers just in case there's like if someone's interested by this.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I won't go too far into it because I would like to have the review. But I believe I'm like 2 to 3 hours away from beating it. When I beat it, I will get the platinum trophy. I took my time and like got all the other stuff. But I don't know because it's like I went into this thinking like it was going to be complete utter trash. It was a $60 game when it released in January. It was on sale in early March for $17. So I was
Ooh.
like, ooh, yeah. So I was like, okay, I have to pick this up. I really want to play this. And I mean, there's a lot of, I guess I got to save a lot for the review. I don't want to go too
Yeah.
far into it. I
Well,
did
that's fine.
really
Like I
enjoy
said,
it though.
I'm definitely interested to try it out too,
Yeah.
and I'm definitely interested to see exactly what you do in your review with that and your final decisions after you beat it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting. Things may change. I may beat the game and be like, "This is just utter trash." But I definitely will be way more in depth than how I'm going about it now. Uh, After that, I don't. Well, I played Doom. I played that. I mean, I played like the traditional like Call of Duty. Pick up and
Yeah.
play a match here and there. Played the Predator free trial weekend thing, which we uh, will have by the time that this is posted. We will have a first impressions up for that, so you can go
Yeah,
check that
definitely
out,
go
listen
over
to
there
it.
and check it out and see what we think.
Yeah. Um.
It was
But
the
I
most
think
amazing trash game ever.
yeah, yeah. It's maybe this is the best Predator game, but the worst game of 2020. Maybe.
Okay,
You
it's
know.
definitely not going to be the worst game of 2020.
Yeah. I hope not. Um.
Um,
Well, I mean,
I
if
guess.
this is the worst game of 2020, then I mean we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is awesome playing. Sorry, the Predator game along with the Terminator games. It's kind of cool. It's like, what year is it? 1987.
Yeah, I was about to say with what you're playing right now, there's a lot of like, I guess, new age retro movie
Even
games
Doom,
going on.
playing through Doom.
Yeah,
Like, so yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. I like it, but like I said, review will be up by Friday.
awesome. I guess getting into the news, I'll start us
Yeah,
off with a little bit of stuff.
yeah,
The third season of Netflix's Castlevania series came out the other day, and I went through and watched that. I definitely think I like this season more than season two.
yeah,
Um, Season two, just compared to season one, I really liked Dracula in season one, and like some of the characters they had in season two, I just could not get into as much. But with season three, I feel like they're going a little bit more in depth and kind of fleshing out some more of the world and still keeping that super dark tone to the series. It is
yeah,
ridiculous. But it's been so popular that Netflix has already renewed them for a fourth season. So I'm
yeah,
excited to see where they go with that.
yeah. I need to watch season three. I may need to watch season one and two again just to refresh myself. I know season one is like what, 4 episodes?
Yeah, season one is really short, and season two isn't really much longer. I do
Yeah,
think season three was longer. It seems like they're getting more of a budget as each season comes out, and they have like a couple more episodes.
yeah. Okay, well that's good. I know the guy that created the Castlevania Netflix series is working on a Devil May Cry series as well. So that would be pretty cool. But yeah, I need to watch season three, and then season four. I mean, it just season three just came out, and they're already like, no, yeah, season four has been approved.
Yeah, it'll
That's
probably
awesome.
be out sometime next year.
Yeah, yeah, I would assume so. Moving on to our next topic. You know, it's we're always gonna have something nice to say about GameStop. Not really. So
Yeah,
apparently,
this is true, Zach. Eventually, they're not going to be GameStop anymore. It's just going to be that old company no one remembers.
yeah, now they're gonna be called GameStop Selling. But so apparently they're essential businesses, according to the people that aren't actually at the store working. You know, they're the ones making the horrible decisions that are slowly killing the life of GameStop. But so yeah, they came out and were like, yeah, we're essential because we sell keyboard products and mice and webcams, and you know those are essential right now with all the companies doing a work from home. And it's like they totally forgot that Amazon and Walmart and Best Buy exists. But
I
that
mean,
was quickly shut down.
I get like that GameStop is in a really bad spot financially right now,
Yeah.
and like the stress of having to shut down is just going to hasten,
Oh yeah.
when they go out of business. But to essentially come out and have like the gall to say like we're just as essential as like hospitals and grocery stores where
Yeah.
you go to get food and where you go when you're sick,
Yeah.
because we sell some video games. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's just inviting a PR nightmare, and that's just not taking care of your workers, which is not going to help you in the public eye at all.
No. Like this is and at one point I would say when they came out and said we're essential, then all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're closing stores. Like, okay, you proved the point. I was thinking like, okay, I don't think GameStop's gonna last until the console release, which could be affected by the whole coronavirus thing as well. But with them coming out and saying like, oh yeah, we're closing 300 stores, this year, like they're doing all they can to hit this console launch.
Yeah, they're like I said, they're really trying to push it because if they hit the console launch, it'll pretty well guarantee them some sales to stick around a little bit longer.
Yeah,
But I can definitely see that they're going to be hurting, and this coronavirus thing might be the end of GameStop if they can't figure something out.
yeah, which would be unfortunate, but I mean, it sucked when Blockbuster and Hollywood Video went away, but something greater, debatable, comes in their place. So maybe we'll have something I mean, maybe we'll have cheaper digital sales of brand new releases because of, the physical retail for video games is dwindling.
Yeah. I guess another bit of news we got this week.
Yeah.
I'm a big Star Wars fan. I've watched pretty much all their content out. Um, they have confirmed that in season 2 of The Mandalorian, Ahsoka will be in season 2. And for those who don't know who Ahsoka is, she is a character that they created and developed for the Star Wars Clone Wars animated series.
Hmm.
And she was Anakin Skywalker's apprentice during the Clone Wars.
Oh,
So
wow.
that could be some really interesting story beats in season 2 of The Mandalorian. Um, and Zach, have you seen The Mandalorian yet?
I watched the first 4 episodes and I completely, just lost all attention. I know that it got better because I listened to reviews of the episodes, like spoiler cast style,
Hmm.
reviews of them. So I kind of got the gist of what was going on, and it sounded like after episode 4, I was out, and then
Yeah.
5 and 6, it sounded like, oh, okay, it's gotten much better. But then, or no, 5 and 6, it was like, oh, this is terrible. And then I believe by 7 and 8, it had turned around again. But
Well,
I'll
overall,
check it out.
yeah, you definitely need to finish the series. And anyone watching, I highly recommend watching The Mandalorian. And I would definitely expect, with as popular as it is,
Yeah.
and Star Wars trying to do more universe building, like if we're seeing characters like Ahsoka come into this, we're probably also going to see, a lot of other characters come into this too. Like I've heard a lot of rumors there could be a cameo by Luke Skywalker because he'll be alive during this time period, and they might run across other characters or more minor characters from some other series and video games.
Yeah. That'll be cool. Yeah, I need to. In season 2, is that coming out this year or next year?
Um, I haven't seen any confirmation. I think they're trying to push for this year, like the end of this year.
Yeah.
But with all this stuff going on with coronavirus, I would probably expect there to be a delay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna suck. Coronavirus is really messing up everything. Like all the movies that were supposed to be coming out are not, or and they're coming out in a weird way to where it's like $20 to rent it, even though, which I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I guess let's get to our last news story and talk
Yeah.
about how coronavirus is messing up everything.
Yeah. Speaking of that, and so what was it? PlayStation in Europe, they're slowing down. Well, actually, no, it's been confirmed. They're
Oh,
slowing down the download speeds across everything, right?
yes. PlayStation came out and made an official announcement saying that their servers are running at such high capacity right now with
Yeah.
everybody online playing that they are going to limit your download speed. Now, this is not going to affect your multiplayer gameplay feel. So,
Yeah.
if you're playing Call of Duty, it's not going to slow down you playing Call of Duty. But if you're downloading Doom, it's going to go at a snail's pace, even if you have fast internet, because Sony is prioritizing their servers to multiplayer matches. So if you're playing multiplayer online, you won't feel a difference. But if you go to download a new game, grab a bowl of popcorn and watch a movie, it's going to take a minute.
Yeah. Well, just don't stream the movie because then it will take longer.
Oh yeah, don't stream anything either.
Yeah.
It was YouTube and Netflix have both announced that they are disabling their HD streaming services for Europe right now,
Yeah.
and I would suspect that something like that would probably be coming for America at some point if this continues.
Yeah. Which I mean, it
Simply
makes
because
sense.
simply because there's so many people all streaming stuff all at once, it's putting
Yeah.
so much of a strain on internet service providers. And I mean, I personally have noticed like my internet speed is like slowing down. Like
Oh yeah.
it's not near as fast as it normally is, and it's simply because there are so many people on the internet all at one time, which normally is not the case. People are at work, people have other stuff to do. Now people are at home and have nothing to do, so everyone's
Yeah.
on the internet.
Yeah, hopefully, if there's anything good from this coronavirus outbreak, is that it really revitalizes the infrastructure that we have, like the internet infrastructure that America has, because it's trash. I mean, it is
I mean,
really bad.
there's so many areas in America where there's just, rural populations. There's not a big population center. And America is far more spread out than Europe. So
Yeah,
we do lag behind as far as like a countrywide internet infrastructure just because we're so big
yeah,
and there's so many areas of just small cities and towns that you can't it's not financially feasible to just go out and give every single small city and town the same kind of internet infrastructure like New York City.
yeah, yeah. It makes sense, but it's not cool.
No, it's not a good time to live in a small city or town for internet, but also
Yeah,
probably a good time to live in a small city or town because of coronavirus.
that is true. Yeah, it's natural
Because
social distancing.
yeah, New York City might have like some of the best internet, but they also have like the highest cases of coronavirus in the U.S. right now.
Yeah, yeah. So that would it equals out. Everyone because of the close density of everything. Everybody's inside, and so it's just eating up the internet. So I mean, it
Um,
pays off.
what do you think about? We did a thing talking about the coronavirus affecting whether the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X would be able to come
Yeah.
out this year. Do you think that they're still going to come out, or what do you feel on that?
Uh, well, a spokesperson for Sony and George Sherman, the CEO of GameStop, have both come out and said that the consoles are still slated for this year, that they don't see any foreseeable delays. But that's also the thing you want to say by now, because
Yeah.
they don't know. No one knows. And we get hit June and all of a sudden the economy has just hit the floor. We have no idea. We're hopeful that that doesn't happen, but it still could. So
Yeah.
there. One thing that I think is interesting is that Xbox has, we know what their console looks like, we know the specs, and we know the major launch game that they're having, which is Halo Infinite. So they got everything to lose. We don't know anything about the PlayStation 5. There could be a major game launching with the PS5 that is now going to be delayed that we would have nothing to know. We wouldn't know. We
Yeah.
would have no. We wouldn't know any better. But
Well,
because
here
they're being silent,
this brings up another interesting point too.
yeah,
Since Sony really hasn't come out, and we've been thinking that they were going to come out and say something probably this month
yo,
with
yeah,
all this coronavirus news and everything kind of up in the air. I think Sony might hold off even longer because now, okay, coronavirus is taking the news every day. Like it's
yeah,
all everyone's talking about. If Sony comes out and it's like, this is what the PlayStation 5 looks like, these are all going to be the new exclusive games and all this stuff, and you turn on the news and it's going to be coronavirus.
yeah,
Like, well, whatever PlayStation does is going to be drowned out. Um, so I think that puts them in a very difficult spot because they've waited so long, and this is kind of blocking their window, especially on a marketing side of things.
yeah,
And now, if you come out and you say these are going to be the launch games, this is going to be the PlayStation 5, and then a month later you have to say, well, none of those games are going to be able to launch because everything got pushed back due to coronavirus, and the PlayStation 5 is not going to come out this year. It's going to come out next year because of production issues. That puts them in a really tough spot right now.
yeah, yeah. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they end up doing. But it's also like no one knows. Like no one. This has never happened before. I mean,
No,
a
not
virus,
like
a
this.
viral outbreak has happened before, but not in a in a modern.
I guess the response at this level has never happened in like modern times. Like, you know, I guess our generation's time before.
Yeah,
Um, so it's going to be really interesting to see how companies handle, you know, trying to continue production and development when, you know, they might not have a workforce to implement those ideas and processes.
yeah, and I believe like core Sony corporate offices are at a work from home basis because I believe there was a statement that came out saying that they were going to do so and that they were actually like providing budgets per person to like have the adequate equipment to work at home, which is cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, but the fact that they're all working from home, and there's even some studios, Naughty Dog, The Last of Us Part Two comes out in May. Naughty Dog is based in Santa Monica. Santa Monica is in California. California is shut down, so they are
Yeah.
definitely working from home. And with that being out in 2 months, they're definitely in the QA testing, squashing bugs. They can't release. They're not going to release their game with bugs if they haven't been able to, thoroughly test it. So
No, I
that
mean
could
that
get
would,
pushed.
you know, that would be an awful thing to happen because I mean, imagine, you know, they do release it and they get so many negative reviews because it's, you know, janky. I mean, that was, you know, some of the issues we had with the Predator game. Like, it's
Yeah,
got a great bones on it, but it's a little too buggy,
yeah,
and that could really hurt the sales of Last of Us Part 2. So
yeah,
I could definitely see what you're saying happening where they start delaying it because they don't have the manpower and resources to fix those things right now.
yeah. Which would be unfortunate because they've already delayed it. The Last of Us Part Two was supposed to come out in February, and
I
so
don't know.
like they,
I would much rather see the game come out and be everything they advertise it to be
oh
than
yeah,
have it come out and have some game breaking bugs in it.
yeah. So I have a theory that they're gonna push whatever PS5 launch games they had planned and still release the PS5 because why not? People are gonna buy it. It may not be crazy selling console numbers, but people are still gonna want to buy it unless the economy like super crashes. But I don't think it's expected for that to happen. I think The Last of Us Part Two will get pushed to fall 2020, which is gonna piss off a lot of people. But we'd be getting a very quality game, and it'd be the big fall release. And instead, Ghost of Tsushima, which is scheduled to come out in the end of June, should be, I think, could get pushed up to May or even earlier, because the rumor was that with The Last of Us Part Two originally being scheduled for February, Ghost of Tsushima was scheduled to come out in May, but because they pushed Last of Us Part Two, they had to push Ghost, and so they wanted it as close as possible. Which was June, which is an odd release date for a video game, especially a Sony first party exclusive because they didn't want anything in the way of the fall, which was rumored to be the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel. But that might get pushed, and so they may be moving like all these games just to like try to fill the space, of having it like a heavy exclusive or a heavy fall hitter.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Um, I think Final Fantasy VII's physical copies in Europe are getting delayed. The digital is fine, but for the people that like pre-ordered a physical copy, they're not going to get it until like a week or two later. So I mean, if that's already happening, then I can only imagine it's going to get worse.
Yeah, it probably is because I mean, right now a lot of the companies that are shipping stuff out, like Amazon, has said that they're prioritizing all essential goods over non-essential goods.
Yeah,
So, like right now, you know, let's say Final Fantasy VII, if you have it on pre-order and you know immediate shipping, and it's supposed to be at your door that day, you know, they're saying, well, that's a video game, and other people over here need food and masks and healthcare equipment and all that.
yeah,
We don't have enough trucks to do everything. So they're going to get the priority, and you'll get your stuff when we can get it to you, which is
yeah.
understandable.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Especially right now with everything that's going on, and it's so fresh in America that we don't even know how bad this can get.
Well, I guess we'll have to just check back on it, and this will probably be a subject we talk about weekly,
Oh yeah,
just as things continue to develop because every week seems to be brand new news coming out about the coronavirus and how it's affecting the gaming and entertainment industry. Well, I think that's about all we got for this week.
Yep. Short little extended form. Like I said, I will have the review for Terminator Resistance up by Friday. If you're listening to this, we should have an episode up on Monday for the Predator Hunting Grounds for first impression. And then, yeah, so that's it. I'm Zach.
And I'm Lindsay.
And this is the Game Forum.